Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Remember your Creator in the days of your youth, before the days of trouble come, and the years approach when you will say, I find no pleasure in them. Before the sun and the light, and the moon and the stars grow dark, and the clouds return after the rain, when the keepers of the house tremble, and the strong men stoop, when the grinders cease because they are few, and those looking through the windows grow dim, when the doors to the street are closed, and the sound of grinding fades, when people rise up at the sound of the birds, but all their songs grow faint, when people are afraid of heights and of dangers in the streets, when the almond tree blossoms and the grasshopper drags itself along, and desire no longer is stirred. Then people go to their eternal home, and mourners go about the streets. Remember him before the silver cord is severed, and the golden bowl is broken, before the pitcher is shattered at the spring, and the wheel broken at the well, and the dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher. Everything is meaningless. Sounds depressing, doesn't it? In our series, especially with Ecclesiastes, it has taught us a few things, and that is, it's taught us that everything comes to an end. It's not meant to be a depressing reading. It's not meant to kind of make you feel like there's no hope. It's meant to actually ground us in the understanding that everything is temporary, and that what we do in this life should be enhanced by our relationship to the Lord. That it gives meaning when we do it for a cause, a purpose, to make things better. So what does it mean to get through the eye of the needle? I could read this chapter again and be conclusive on the series. Here it is. Meaningless, meaningless. If it's not done without God and his purpose and goodwill, then what is it for? There's more to the story than that. But after this video, we're transitioning now into New Testament. There's a few key things I want to bring to light that will really bring a little bit more joy to the heart, and maybe even a new perspective on money versus, faith life and scriptural faith life. I just find that I think the Lord is much more kinder and fair than we often will quote, and out there in general discourse of the Bible. It's always feels negative to me. It feels like it's a sin to have something, when really what is described is the sin of loving something more than loving God, right? So in the conclusion of the matter in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, not only was the teacher wise, it says, verse 9, but he also imparted knowledge to the people. He pondered and searched out and set in order many proverbs. The teacher searched to find just the right words, and what he wrote was upright and true. The words of the wise are like goads, their collected sayings like firmly embedded nails given by one shepherd. Be warned, my son, of anything in addition to these words. Of making many books there is no end, and much study wearies the body. Verse 13, now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the duty of all mankind. For God will bring every deed into judgment, including every hidden thing, whether it is good or evil. So to think that you can gather all of life's riches and all of life's, pleasures and have it go unnoticed, To think that you won't answer to your sin would be a mistake. Everything I've learned in business over the years comes at a cost. Relationships, what you do, how you treat people comes at a cost. How you treat people when it comes to money and finances, the shortcuts that we decide to take to try to get the upper hand, all of that is measured. Now, but for the grace of God, there go I, um, Paul was complaining about a thorn in his flesh, and Jesus simply said to him, "My grace is sufficient for you." And I think, calmly spoken, this is where it all needs to kind of come to, a fruition. It comes to a conclusion that without God, we can do nothing. And without God, we are basically nothing. So let's be a little more humble about how we spend our time, how we spend our energy, be a little bit more discerning on how we treat money, knowing that everything is a gift from God to not only be used for our pleasure, but also to be used for his grand purpose. I hope that helps you today. I hope it brings you peace in this short little video. Next time, for the Eye of the Needle, we're going into New Testament concepts and how we can actually be a part of God's plan and a part of the solution. Take care. Thanks, everybody, for watching today. We really appreciate your support. Please don't forget to like the video with a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel as it will help us get to that great 300 number we're targeting. As well, don't forget to hit the bell icon as it will remind you whenever a video comes out so you don't miss a thing. Thanks again for watching.